Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is April if you're new here, and today I actually wanted to do something a little bit different. I started to crochet in December and it's March, and it's become a new obsession. Originally I started because my sister made a blanket for my parents for Christmas, and I'm like, why don't you make me that blanket? And she's like,
no, why don't you make it yourself?
so that's how I started crocheting, but what I really actually like to make are plushies and stuffed animals and stuff. So today I think I wanted to match some crochet patterns and plushies to the pet companions of some of my favorite books. With this video, I'm actually going to have the links to all these patterns in the description box below in case you want to make them yourself. I think it's really fun, and it's been a really good hobby for my anxiety especially. It just kind of makes my brain go quiet. Let's get into the list. So this one isn't quite a pet companion, but as soon as I saw this book, which is Kimberly Lemming's newest book, I had to make this pink dinosaur on the cover. Like, I just needed to make the pink T-Rex. You know what I mean? I don't know that he's a companion or if he's like the bad guy that they're running away from because I haven't read the book yet, but I made the pink T-Rex that goes with it. And I think he turned out really cute. I'm really not good at the eyes yet, so he looks kind of derpy in the face, but he's still cute and he's pretty big. So he's just a little pink T-Rex. The pattern for this one is from a shop on Etsy. By the way, most of these patterns come from Etsy. It's called Web and Thread, and their T-Rex is green, but I think I obviously needed to make mine pink just for this book. And I think they go together very well. So the first pet companion that I thought of for this list is actually Andarna from Fourth Wing. Of course, have to make Andarna. In fact, I did make Andarna. I made it for Carrie. So I don't have it here, but it did turn out really cute. The crochet pattern that I use is the Sleeping Baby Dragon from Red Mills Crochet for that one. But I did get another one and I made this one a little bit smaller. It's more of a baby dragon. So the second Andarna that I actually made is one by Crochet by Jenna. It's her no-sew baby dragon. I think it turned out really cute. It is quite smaller. Like, this is probably a third the size of the one that I made Carrie. But you know what? There's tons of dragon patterns out there, so you could probably just convert any of them to Andarna. The only thing I didn't put on this one is the feather tail. So make sure to add a feather tail if you want to make an Andarna. Don't do what I did and just forget that whole part. So the next pet companion you could make is the fox from Quicksilver, and I'm gonna be terrible with names because I cannot remember the name right now, but it is the Arctic fox. So we're looking for an all-white fox here, and there are a lot of patterns, but the pattern that I specifically like is actually this one from Sleek Grace. This is just a normal fox. However, I think you could just make all of the orange and cream parts white, and then the brown tips of the ears and the feet in a grayish color, and I think that would be like a super cute Arctic fox. And I definitely want to make one of these. I haven't yet, but you know what? I like to make a lot of things. So this one I'm probably going to be making soon. So for a ship of bones and teeth, there's actually two pet companions that I would love to make. The first one is the shark companion. There's a pattern from Sue Woo Store that I think is really cute. This is a larger one. There's tons of shark patterns. You can make them like this big to like this big, and you know, and I had to make the big one, right? I had to choose the big one. By the way, all these patterns are probably going to be paid from Etsy, but honestly, the patterns are super cheap. Like, this one is currently $3.75. I think that's super cheap for a pattern that you can make and a plushie that you can make. I mean, the yarn's going to be more expensive, obviously, but yeah, the shark, super cute. And I also think a shark would be relatively easy to make. The other one that I want to make is Anchor the octopus, which is actually would suit for the kraken in a ship of bones and teeth. But this octopus comes out huge, and I absolutely would make him in this dark gray color with the tentacles. I've seen a lot of people make these before and they turn out honestly awesome. I would totally put him up on the top of my bookshelf and have him as little decor coming off of the top. I think it would be really cute with his tentacles spilling over. I really want to make Anchor so bad. So of course we also need a broccoli for Onyx Storm. Now a lot of books have a cat pet companion, of course, but I'm choosing broccoli for the cat, and the pattern that I would use is actually this little chubby kitty pattern. It has an orange one in here and I thought he was super cute. There's tons of cat patterns, but this one just so happens to be my favorite. I actually just bought it recently and I made my own little chubby kitty. However, I only had white yarn. I did not have orange to make an orange cat, but it works up to be something like this. He's super cute. I am definitely practicing more on my face details and I'm missing his pink little nose, but you know, we'll finish that at some point. Now, of course, a book that I recently read was Blood of Hercules. I've got to make Nyx the snake. If you've read the book, is Nyx like purple? Is he like a blackish purple snake? I cannot remember the color of him, but I totally want to make Nyx one. I have two patterns that I really liked for this one. The first one is actually like a slap bracelet snake, something little that would be super cute, like if I was going to a con or something. So this one is by Close Knit Crochet, and again, it's really small and cute. It's the size of a slap bracelet with a little snake head on it. Again, I would make him like black or purple if that's the color of Nyx. If you wanted to make something a little larger, I love this coiled snake. It's a no-sew snake pattern. It's very easy and beginner friendly, and this one is by Crochet Grove. This one does kind of wrap itself around, so you can put them again on your arm or maybe on a pole or something like that if you wanted to display him on your shelves. But this one also super cute. Now, I just recently finished Scythe and Sparrow from Bryn Weaver and absolutely fell in love with Barbara the raccoon in that book. So this pattern I have is Win the Raccoon. This is by Yarn Bliss Patterns, but I love that this one is just kind of like giving you a little shoulder action, and I think it's really cute. The hands and the feet I'm obsessed with, so I would totally make this one. I don't know how big it would be, probably like this big or larger. It looks like a large pattern to me, to be honest, but I'm totally down for that. Like, honestly, I'm down for that. Now, if you threw a rock, you could probably find about 1 million dragon crochet patterns on Etsy right now, but for Fear the Flames, there's 3 dragons, and so I thought a mini dragon would be perfect for these. So this pattern is Benny the Mini Dragon. He's a snuggler, so he would be very cute to snuggle with, and if you made 3, it would be like the 3 dragons from Fear the Flames, and you can make them in all different colors. This one is by Just a Mom Crocheting, which I think they are super cute. If you embroider the eyes, they'd be also like baby friendly if you wanted to give this to a baby or anything like that. But honestly, I'm an adult and I still love to snuggle with these things. They're just so soft and cuddly when you use chenille yarn. It's just so sweet. And I just think these little dragons are super cool. I love how you can customize them and have like different tails, like a spike tail or a flare tail. I think these are just so awesome. Now, I haven't read this book yet, but I heard there was a pet companion snake plant in the Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I did find this spider plant. Is it a spider plant or a snake plant in the Spell Shop? I cannot remember, but this spider plant was like very intricate. I really loved it. This one's by Mandy and Mom, and it's just a hanging spider plant. Like, listen, there's a lot of people out there who cannot keep plants around. Like, I kill lots of plants, but I choose to have real ones. But if you did not want to have real ones and bother with that, make a crochet plant. Like honestly, have a crochet plant. I want to have like a whole little shelf of them at my desk at work of little ones. This one's kind of a lot bigger, but it's also really cool looking. And for some reason, I just really love the flower pot as well. So I had to put this on there. So there's again two kind of pet companions or animal companions in Anathema by Carrie Lake. The first one is a crow. I love the idea of this with around like a skull and stuff, like make it super gothic looking. This one is by TN Gifts UA. There's a few crow patterns out there. Some of them also say raven patterns, but I know in Anathema it was a crow. Also in Anathema is a scorpion. This scorpion from Dee Dee's Plushie DE, the shop, is super cute. I've seen a lot of people make these already and they work up to be pretty small. So I think it would be really, really cute for the shelves, you know? This pattern you can get by itself, or it does actually come in a pattern of like 9, I think, different bugs. There's like a cockroach and a grasshopper and an ant or ladybug or something, but there's also butterflies and moths. And for that, I would totally make those for the White Horse Black Knight books by Evie Marceau, because the female main character in there can kind of talk to animals and bugs. So there's also like a bee, which there's a very important bee scene in this book. So all of these, a lot of these bugs would work for a lot of books. A few of you reminded me of the corgi Newton in Bridgerton, so I had to get that pattern for you guys. By the way, if you're not checking out my Instagram and following me on stories, I hang out there all the time and I ask you guys questions all the time that I could use some inspiration from you. So if you want to follow me, please do so. My name is the same, Happily Ever April. Anyways, the corgi pattern that I found for this one is the crochet corgi dog pattern called Little Biscuit. I think this one is absolutely adorable. Again, it's kind of like a laying down, a sleeping kind of corgi doll. I love those ones for some reason. And then I just can't get over the little tail on this guy. Like, I have to make this. This one's by Tim Magic Ring on Etsy. Again, all of these are going to be from Etsy. And I definitely need to make this because Newton is so cute. This is Kate's dog in the second Bridgerton book. So love this one. Another historical romance pet companion is the hedgehog in the Wynchester series, the Wild Wynchester series. I want to say he's in like books 3, 4, and 5. But this cute little no-so hedgehog pattern by Kindmaker is absolutely adorable. I think if you make a hedgehog, you have to make him that's the size of your palm of your hand, right? Like he has to be that big because he's a hedgehog, right? And I can see this one being in multiple different colors. I'd probably still make mine in like brownish colors, but it's just so adorable, so small and so cute. Another historical romance with a pet companion that I absolutely adored was Gerald the Swan from Get Thee Off My Lawn, and I did find a swan pattern. This one actually doubles as a swan and a flamingo pattern. So this one is by Crochet Grove again, and I just thought these are both so adorable. I love the little legs. I love the little legs and the derpy little nose. I get really like squealy about some of these plushies. I really love this one. I think it's just so cute and I just need a Gerald the Swan with me so bad, right? It was Gerald, right? It's been a while since I read the book. And the last pattern and pet companion I wanted to talk about is the Crude unicorn from the Faes Captive series. This unicorn shows up, I think, in books maybe 2 or 3, and then he also shows up later. But he's a sassy unicorn. He's not your average unicorn, that's for sure. However, there's tons of unicorn patterns on Etsy as well. However, the one I like is this magical unicorn crochet pattern from the Crochet Code AU. This one is so cute. For something about the hair, I just really love the hair. I think the hair would be really cool in like a speckled multicolor kind of hair. And then it's just, again, so adorable. The face shape looks a lot like the T-Rex face shape, which again, something about this face shape I really love. So I think it's just super cute. I totally would do the crude unicorn. I'd probably make his mouth like smirking off to the side, like maybe with an eyebrow raised. Maybe with like some over the shoulder action as well, because yeah, if you read the books you know, but that one is super cute as well. I love making crochet stuffed animals. If there is a pet companion that you love that I missed, I can find a pattern for it. You just need to let me know in the comments below, because I have been absolutely obsessed with all of these. I need to make all of them. It's just such a good use of my time too when I need my brain to calm down, and that happens a lot in 2025. Anyways, thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye!